Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to another edition of the RotoBaller Radio Waiver Wires series. I'm your host, Anthony Aniano. Happy to be with you here, breaking down the Week 7 Fantasy Baseball Waiver Wire, the week beginning Monday, May 10th. Guys, don't forget, head over to rotoballer.com and check out everything we have there. The main page, the premium package, the expert chats, you name it, rotoballer.com has you covered. Whether it's baseball, football, basketball, esports, NASCAR, MMA, PGA, season-long, or DFS, rotoballer.com has you covered, whatever it is you love in fantasy sports. Stay right here on the RotoBaller YouTube channel. Check out all the great content, my waiver wire series, hitters, pitchers, and all sorts of fantasy baseball and football breakdown. Right? We're in May. We have fantasy baseball only about a month and a half in, and NFL draft is complete, and we start ramping up for fantasy football right there at RotoBaller as well. All right, let's take a look now at the Week 7, starting May 10th, hitters available on the waiver wire. A lot of injuries, a lot of poor play. Byron Buxton goes on the DL just the other day, so we have to account for that. We're going to start behind the plate. I have one catcher I want to mention today, one catcher eligible I want to mention today, Willians Astudillo of the Minnesota Twins. Now, I just added him in an Otnu league. Catcher, first base, third base eligible. You get excited over that, and a fun player to watch when you consider he doesn't strike out only 6% of the time this year, and he doesn't walk. No, I mean literally, he has not drawn a walk yet. His walk rate is 0. All right, so he's not an on-base percentage guy. His on-base percentage for the year is .308. But what does he do? He hits, and he hits some more. 16% rostered on Yahoo. If you're like me, I started my season with Travis d'Arnaud as my catcher in this Otnu format. I had Narvaez as my second catcher. I thought, okay, now d'Arnaud is basically done for the year. Omar Narvaez is out as well. I was able to get Astudillo off the waiver wire. Okay, 16% rostered on Yahoo. Now, on the season, he's hitting .313 with, like I said, that .308 on base percentage, showing some pop, 3 homers, 11 RBIs, 5 runs scored. Over the last 14 days, he's hitting .346 with 2 of those 3 home runs and 5 of those 11 RBIs. A good hitter, 300-plus ability. Not going to help you much in on-base percentage because he just refuses to walk. He goes up there for one thing, and that is to swing the bat. But you love the versatility as well. I'm using him as my catcher. You can also use him in a pinch at first base or third base or as a corner infielder. Speaking of corner infielders, 2 other corner infielders I wanted to mention today. Jeimer Candelario of the Detroit Tigers, grossly under-rostered at only 24%. First base, third base, corner infield eligible. On the season, he's hitting .298, okay, with 3 home runs, 12 RBIs, and 17 runs scored. The forgotten category sometimes I feel in 5x5 Roto, all those runs scored. Candelario is scoring runs. Like I said, 17 on the season. A .360 on-base percentage, thanks to an 8.8% walk rate and a 25.7% strikeout rate. Over his last 14 days, he is hitting .347, 2 homers, 5 RBIs, and 7 of those 17 runs scored. Guys, there's got to be a way he can help your team. Plug him in a corner infield. In that same Otnu format, I use him as a utility back quite often. Even if you use him in a daily format and matchup play him, Candelario now 2 years in a row where he's hitting over .290. Time to pay attention to that. What you need is a little more pop, maybe a little less batting average, or in this case, a lot less batting average. Hunter Dozier of the Kansas City Royals is getting hot. Ignore the 168 batting average on the season. It is slowly climbing. Over the last 14 days, at least that batting average is over 200. First base, third base, and outfield eligible. So there is a versatility bit to Hunter Dozier that you do like. Corner infield, outfield eligible. 44% rostered on Yahoo. Now, why do I mention him? Well, the power is coming back. 5 home runs on the season, 14 RBIs. 4 of those 5 homers and 9 of those 14 RBIs are over the last 14 days. So he is picking up the pace power-wise. Now, he's not going to hit 300 like Candelario may, like Astudillo may in Minnesota, But Hunter Dozier, if he gives you 240, 250, does have the ability to finish the season with 25 home runs. So again, depends on a need in your 5x5 roto. If you need the power, Hunter Dozier may be the play you make, but you're going to suffer potentially in the batting average categories. Walks about 6.9% of the time and strikes out a lot, almost 30%, 29% of the time. So I don't love that number when I could get a lower number from Candelario, but I may be sacrificing power. So again, who's out, who's injured, where do you stand in the standings? Breaking down category by category may help you decide which corner infielder it is you need to add off the waiver wire. Slide over to middle infield options. And the first one, listen, I've added them in Yahoo formats, and I thought it was a short-term thing. And right now, for the last couple of weeks, he's been a plug, play, and walk away. And that's Josh Harrison, former Pirate, now with the Washington Nationals. Second and third base eligible. Corner midfield. Corner infield and middle infield. So something to like about that. 15% rostered on Yahoo, and another guy who's not going to give you the power per se of a Hunter Dozier, but a terrific boost in batting average. On the season, he's up to 325 with a 416 on base percentage. In an OBP league, he has to be owned. He's playing every day, and if you could get on the right side of a 400 on base percentage, you need to pay attention to that. Yet, only 15% rostered on Yahoo. Doesn't strike out 9% of the time. His walk rate is exactly the same, 9%. I say it all the time. When the walks and Ks meet, I like that a lot. 12 runs scored, 12 RBIs on the season, has hit 3 home runs, and has stolen 1 base on the season. Now, over his last 14 days, he's hitting .310, 2 of those 3 homers, 8 of those 12 runs, and 7 RBIs. Like I said, 1 stolen base on the season for Josh Harrison. Corner infield, middle infield eligible, and only 15% rostered. I just don't think people are buying in. This is a 275, 280 lifetime hitter who's doing it again, getting a chance to play every day for the Nats. If you're looking for a little bit of speed, Niko Goodrum of the Detroit Tigers. Now, there's a lot I hate. I got to be honest with you. I'm not adding him. Let me be honest with everybody out there. However, I do feel the need to mention it if you're looking for some stolen bases. Now, what do I like? What are the pros to Niko Goodrum? Well, on Yahoo, first base, second base, shortstop, outfield eligible. So you got first, second, short, corner, middle, and outfield. The only place he's not eligible for you is as catcher or pitcher. Number 2, he's only 7% rostered, so he shouldn't cost you more than a $1 or $2 fab bid. Okay? On the season, he's hitting .228. However, over his last 14, he's hitting .262. Okay? Now, what do I like? I like 4 stolen bases on the year. I like 3 stolen bases over his last 14 days. I like 4 stolen bases and 4 home runs on the year. A little power speed situation there. 2 of those 4 homers, and like I said, 3 of those 4 stolen bases over his last 14 days. What don't I like? A 43% strikeout rate on the season. Okay, I hate it. Not a fan of it. However, felt the need to mention he is running. Okay, and that's a category where we're always searching for a few stolen bases. So Niko Goodrum doing that for Detroit. Batting average is climbing. On-base percentage is terrible at .290, right? When you talk about Josh Harrison for a middle infielder with a .416 on-base percentage and then Niko Goodrum with a .290. But, again, I say it all the time, Josh Harrison may be the better baseball player, but Niko Goodrum may be the guy who fills a need for you, picks you up a stolen base or 2 over the next couple of weeks. Another option to pick up a stolen base or 2 in a daily league, or if you're looking just for short term as players get healthy, Matt Duffy of the Chicago Cubs. A 283 lifetime hitter, now getting a chance with the Cubs due to injury, okay? And on the season, now hitting .296 with a .409 on-base percentage, okay? He's playing the outfield, middle infield as well, eligibility there. 3 stolen bases over the last 14 days with 11 RBIs on the season and 9 runs scored. Now, he doesn't strike out 15.2% of the time with a 13.6% walk rate. There they are again. So I like that. Another short term, if I added him, I wouldn't expect him to last the season on my team. He's only 3% rostered. But again, a short term, my middle infielders are hurt. I need a couple of quick steals over the next 2 weeks. Matt Duffy for the Chicago Cubs is running. He's hitting well, like I said, 296, an on-base percentage boost as well with Nico Hoerner out for the Cubs. Duffy has played well. Now we slide to the outfield, and we have 3 outfielders here who can help us in a variety of ways. First off is Austin Hayes of the Baltimore Orioles. 15% rostered, on the season hitting 260, but over his last 14 is hitting 300. 4 home runs, 8 RBIs, 11 runs scored over the last 14 days. 4 homers on the season, actually. 10 RBIs and 14 runs scored on the year. Strikes out about 25% of the time. A 6% walk rate. A useful 4th or 5th outfielder. But not number 1 on my list. My number 1 outfielder on my list to add right now is Willie Calhoun of the Texas Rangers. Comes in, started at the alternate site, got promoted, and has done nothing but hit for the Texas Rangers as he took over for Tavares when Tavares was hitting under 100 in the early portion of the season. And Calhoun has just come up and hit. On the season, a .403 on base percentage. If you're in an OBP league, I have given you Candelario, Harrison, Duffy, and now Willie Calhoun, who a huge OBP helps to your fantasy team. Hitting .338 on the year with a .403 on base percentage. 3 homers, 8 RBIs, 10 runs scored. Doesn't strike out. Never has been a high strikeout guy for his career. This season, a 13.9% K rate with an 8.3% walk rate. Over his last 14 days, he's hitting .354 with all of those home runs and 8 of his 10 RBIs. I'm sorry, 7 of his 8 RBIs, 8 of his 10 runs scored. Willie Calhoun right now is red hot for the Texas Rangers and should be added. Last season was a lost season for him. His last full season in 2019, he did hit .269 with 21 home runs. At one point, the Rangers' best prospect coming up, maybe finally putting it together. But .338 on the year and .354 over the last 14, over 400 on base percentage cannot be ignored. And my final outfielder just coming off the injured list, stole a base just last night when I'm taping this, okay? And he's a stolen base ad in Arizona in a daily format. Arizona's outfield has gotten crowded in a hurry. But Tim Locastro, okay, comes off the IL, steals a base. He's up to 4 stolen bases on the season now. .324 on base percentage, strikes out 22% of the time. If I needed to add anybody for steals, Locastro would be the guy over Goodrum or Matt Duffy. Okay, power play, take a look at Hunter Dozier. If you're looking for just the best hitters available, Willie Calhoun, Josh Harrison, Jeimer Candelario, and get Willians Astudillo from the Minnesota Twins if you're desperate for a catcher. All right, everybody, this has been fun. As always, make sure you follow me on Twitter at @Aniano Fantasy. Sign up for any of those premium packages at rotoballer.com using the promotional code ACES and save yourself a little bit of money in the process, all right? Make sure you check out the Week 7 Pitcher Waiver Wire and all the great content right here on RotoBaller's YouTube channel. Stay smart, stay safe, and we'll see you next time. Have a good one, folks.